Does your high ticket coaching client know how much you love her? Does she know how much you care for her? Does she know how much you respect her? Does she know how much you value her? When she listens to your podcast, when she watches your Facebook lives, when she watches your YouTube videos, when she reads your emails, when she reads your social media posts, does she know I am loved? Wow, she sees me. Wow, she respects me. Wow, she's not speaking down to me. She's talking to me like a peer. Wow, she's co-creating with me. She's not telling me what to do. She's not helping me. She's supporting me at the highest level. Oh my gosh, she supports me to remember who I am. She sees the God in me, the Ruth in me, the Caleb in me, the Joshua in me. Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Asking for the High Ticket Sale. This is part 2 of our How to Ask for the Sale video series. It's going to be 10 videos. This is the second video in that series. The first one was manifestation, and the link is in the description below. You see, I call this divine selling, divine service and selling. When clients come to the Prosperous Swarm and working together and asking for the sale VIP day or in Supernatural, they come in thinking she's going to give me a script. She's going to give me a high ticket sales script, the formula, the strategies, all of that. We have all of those, but that's going to be created through your Prosperous Swarm. The thing is, after you've identified in the first video I talked about being the match, being the manifestation of your client's desire, problem, opportunity, challenge, outcome, result, being that manifestation, now you look at how does my client see me so she can recognize God in her, recognize the Ruth in her, recognize and activate and empower herself to raise her hand and ask for the sale? How do you love her? When I'm working with clients and asking for the sale VIP, I look at their messaging, I look at their offers, I look at the way they speak, the way they talk, who they be, how they show up in the world. I look at their positioning, I look at their packaging and pricing. And if I'm the client looking at this, does it say to me she sees me? You see, your client needs to know that you care for her. That way she feels deeply seen, deeply held, deeply valued, deeply respected. Because when you're not selling chicken wings, when you're selling a $100K offer, or $200,000 offer, or $500,000 offer, or $1 million offer, you're not selling a $50K mastermind or 10 or 15 or 25K, coaching gym mastermind of 500 women. You're talking with specificity to one person. So let's talk about caring for your clients. Caring for your clients is based on the words that you use, how you talk, your tone. Are you respecting and understanding that she's a human being, just like you? The same power that raised Jesus Christ from the dead that is inside of you is also inside of her. So she's not a victim. She doesn't have wounds because God says she's whole and complete. So how are you talking to her? How are you holding that space for her in your language? How are you seeing her as someone who can be resourceful enough to invest in herself at $1 million level, at a $500,000 level? Or are you apologizing in your content for the investment to work with you? Oh, I know it's expensive, but is it? Is anything too good for her, and is anything too hard for God? Just like you're partnered with God, that's the same God inside of her. The same way you are powerful is the same way she's powerful. Are you speaking to her with respect? Like she's a human being that has an actual desire, problem, opportunity, or challenge? Or are you trying to close another sale? Asking for the sale, how to ask for the sale is not based on a script or prompt or transcript. It's not based on the best high ticket sales coaching script. It's based on who you're being and how your client feels seen, valued, heard, and cared for and loved. Is there judgment in your tone? You're not losing here are 5 reasons why you're not losing the weight, and here's how to fix it. No. How you could lose the weight faster and love yourself on the journey. There's a way that you speak when you're talking to a client who's smart, when you're talking to a client who's powerful, when you're talking to a client who's brilliant. A lot of the times when women come to asking for the sale VIP and they bring their correct messaging in their scripts and their packaging, what I see is that they are the opposite of Caleb and Joshua. They're talking to clients who have wounds, clients who are not ready yet to step into their greatness. As a high-ticket coach, you're not here to validate people. You're not here to make people feel like, oh gosh, she can save me. You're here to speak to women, to support them and empower them to know they are already saved. They're already valued, that they can have the baby, that it's been their desire to not have the child yet. That's why you haven't shown up. And now that you've shown up, you've arrived, life gives you what you're ready for. Now they're ready for this. Not can you have the baby, 5 steps to how I can make you do this. No, God has already said that you have John 10 in abundance, and you already have the child. You already have the money. You already have the this. So I'm going to partner with you to co-create this with you so you have the experience, the Ephesians 2:10 experience that you're here to have, which is what I bring to the table. What are you bringing to the table for your clients? And do they know what differentiates you and distinguishes you from every other coach? Can they see you as the only coach in the room? Because a lot of times women come into the prosperous woman, they were working, asking for the sale, and what I see is, oh, well, I made 10 figures I made 10K last week. I made $1 million last month. Your client does not care. The amount of money you make is the least interesting thing about who God made you to be. It's the least interesting thing about you. The only time God sees your money is how you're using it to advance the kingdom. That's it. So the client that you're here to attract is not the client that's attracted to your 10-figure months or your 8-figure match or whatever. It's the client who's growing in her faith with God. The client who's growing in her experience and journey with God. The client who's becoming a match for the experience that God has for her. And when you speak to that, that is how she recognizes herself. That is how her soul recognizes itself in the offer and says, this is who God says I am. It's a remembrance. It's not a, well, what's going to be the ROI on this and the investment is this. No, it's a remembrance. And she forgets that she doesn't even have the money yet. Because all she remembers is that she's creative and resourceful and can do this. But it is based on the language, the words, the expression, your tone, what you're saying, and the offer. Are you selling chicken wing offers? Are you selling 50K masterminds when it's supposed? I look at clients' offers and I say, well, what is this 50K offer and what was the intention behind it? And what did you think your clients were going to get out of it? Well, it's a mastermind. You know, there are 250 women in this mastermind and it's 50K and it's really exclusive and high vibe and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, what offer did God ask you to sell for this client? What offer did God want you to co-create for this client? And it's crickets. And I say, well, if you're selling with Jesus, if you partner with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit to show that you love, care, value, and respect your client, and that God has called you to serve at the highest level, so this 50K offer becomes your new floor, what would that other offer look like? What would that exponential expansion look like? Because you see, the current mainstream coaching business is discouragement. Is the client, you sit in social media and say, you know, I don't want to be greedy, so my offer is only 50K. You don't want that 500K offer. But here's the thing. Let's say you're selling tickets to Cape Town, airplane tickets to Cape Town, and three clients come to you. The first one comes and they buy economy and you give it to them. The second one comes and buys business class and you give it to them. And the third one comes and says, I want first class. And then you say, you know what, you don't need first class. Here's the thing, business class, economy, you're all gonna get to Cape Town at the same time. Why would you wanna buy first class when it's more expensive? Buy business class or buy economy because you're going to land on the plane lands in Cape Town at the same time on all three classes. And the client says to you, I don't care. I want the first class experience. That's what God has put in their hearts. That's the capacity God has given them. Do not dissuade people from being who God says they are and enjoying the freedom, the care, the love, and the value that God has put on their lives. It's the anointing on their lives. They are anointed for that first class. That's what they choose to have. It's freedom to choose. So when you create your offer, you create for the freedom to choose clients, not the client who's running away from something. The freedom to choose the empowered client who sees that, immediately knows it's for her, raises her hand to ask you for the sale, and invests without any drama, invests without any questions, invests without trying to figure out, you know, why is this so expensive? Can I have a discount? Invest without you having to do sales objections. But you need to be empowered enough to be that match. So this is divine selling. In the next video, we're going to really dive into how to ask for the sale with Jesus, how to sell with Jesus, so that your empowered client is the one raising her hand and asking for the sale when she sees your email, when she reads your newsletter, when whatever happens. Go back and look at your own business right now. Does your client know that you care for her? Does she see that you see her and really see her and understand who God says she is? Does she know that you value her? Does she see that you respect her? Let me know how this lands for you.